Okay. See if it will get started here. Let's fix this. And we want to take out the word advance. Put in the word game. Ooh, Jesus. Okay, where are we? Top chat. No, we don't want top chat. When you're here, you want live chat. Okay, hi everybody. I don't know how many were waiting, and it should be starting. I know there's some lag. There's Nora. Hello, darling. So I had to quick go find a shirt because I'm sitting here in a tank top undershirt because it's been hot. I've been working on the playroom again, and I realized I was like, oh, I I don't have a shirt down here, so I got my Doctor Who kitty cat shirt. So and it's good to be back for the lives. Well, I left my calendar over there. I think technically tonight should have been a live sale, but there's just, as you all know, who were around for the roller coaster ride that was August, there just wasn't a chance to. And we got the last of the problems. The leak is still there, but I got what I think is the last of it cleaned up finally because it hadn't been a problem. And then another chunk of the ceiling came down and created another problem. But now we've got that all squared away. Hello, Warren. So I'm doing well. I've just had the fun challenge of I did call the doctor for my spine, and he was on vacation this week, and they didn't have any openings with the other guy. So um, I've been I will work for like I'll work for however long I can stand it because my knee is blowing out, my right knee, which is the one I get gel shot injections into, and I'm due for one of those. And then my back is giving out. So I'm I didn't get any injections because he wasn't Dr. Baxter wasn't the one that was there to do it. So I ended up not getting any shots on the left side, on this side, and it's I'm getting paying for that now. I'm so paying for that right now. Because of all the lifting and stuff, but there's been headway with a lot of things. I mean, we've gotten a lot of trash out of here. I've done scrap runs, clearing stuff out of here. It's been something. It's been something this August. And I've spent the entire month tracking down during the day, making phone calls and tracking down missing things from summer camp. And, once the summer's over, of course, all those kids that were camp counselors have scattered to the four winds to their respective high schools. And trying to track down information was a challenge all through August. But I finally got all that finished. Now I just have to get it all into the recording software we have for Scouts. But, and Mike had his 30th birthday on, what was it, Wednesday, the 28th of August? 28, 828, no. Yes, 8/28/94. So, yeah, the 28th. I'm so tired today. The brain's not all there tonight, so bear with me. So he's had his 30th birthday, and it was the first night of Scouts, and they surprised him with cupcakes, which was really, really cool. We were there when the Scoutmaster Mike was under. Mike was a scout when that gentleman turned 30. Now his kid has joined the troop. So I made sure I basically voluntold him he was signing Mike's 30th birthday card. So, but now that the weather's broken, it's beautiful fall weather right now here in my little southeast corner of Pennsylvania. And it's just been lovely because it's not so hot that it's not drippingly humid as it's been for a lot of August. So I hope the weather's good where all of you are. And all through August, since I had that video of being able to go shopping at a Goodwill, which hadn't happened in forever, because Windows changed their software, and so now I can't figure out how to get voiceovers done, especially with this particular laptop. It's a real problem, and editing is a real problem with their new software. And so I finally had a chance to be in that Goodwill. It was just after they opened, and so they didn't. Yeah, the notifications, Nora, tend to go out about 10 minutes after you've already started your live for some reason, 5 to 10 minutes after. But they didn't have the music on, and then when they did turn it on, it was very low. So it was great. I could actually film in there, and the channel is just kind of blown up. I have passed 2000 I have passed 1,200 subscribers. I've gained over 60 subscribers in the last month since that video and the subsequent hauls of what had been bought. So there's a lot of people I say welcome to. And welcome to this overstuffed house, overstuffed for a reason. You'll find out if you go find that video that I have that's pinned on my channel page of how I got an overstuffed house. So it's all good. It's all good. Everything's moving on along, getting things worked on. Had to stop everything though and deal with that new leak of plumbing leak and Boy Scout stuff and some family stuff, but it's good. And I'm back. So now every Thursday I should be here live. The first two I usually alternate, for those of you who are new, I usually alternate between a sale and a chat. And I believe tonight was supposed to be a sale, but we just weren't quite ready. Trying to clean up the new spot of water in the playroom from that plumbing leak, now that another chunk of the ceiling came down. That took up most of the day. Getting laundry done took up the rest of the day. Mike's leaving on a trip, and he had to work today out of the house. So it was up to me to get all the laundry done. So I've been up and down and up and down and up to the third floor, up to the second floor, and back down to the basement. And so my knee is just done. But he has a scout trip. There is a scout trip this weekend. I'm not going. My knee is just not in any shape because they're going to Treasure Island. Now, for those of you that have ever been in Boy Scouts and were part of the Order of the Arrow, you've probably heard about Treasure Island. It's a little island in the Schuylkill River in between Pennsylvania and New Jersey. It's north of Philadelphia. And it's where the Order of the Arrow, which is the honor society of Boy Scouts, it's where that started. It's no longer owned by Boy Scouts, but the family that bought it is very Boy Scout friendly. And they actually run programs on the weekends for Boy Scouts to come and stay. They'll work on a merit badge or two while they're there for the weekend. They'll work on scouting heritage, which I said, look, he said, the gentleman who's running this particular trip, one of the other assistant scoutmasters, he said, I think it'd be fun, but what do we do about a counselor for that one if they don't finish it while we're there? And I'm like, well, that's no problem because I'm a counselor for that one. Scouting heritage is basically about the history of scouting, which is why I know so much about it. So if they don't finish it, that's no big deal. But Mike's going to go on that trip. But to get to the launch for the boat, to get to the island, is this really, 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 really long set of steps, and then a trail, Then a few more steps to the dock. No, my knee will not want to do that. Not right now. So I'm staying home, which is fine because with him, he's gone. Gary has somewhere to be on Saturday. So I will have time to myself. Don't jinx it. So it should be good. Let's see. Warren, did you get your box? I hope you got your box. That was a fun one to pack up. And I have your, where'd I set them? Did I bring them in here? I didn't bring them in here. Oh, I know where they are. They're sitting in the hallway with the big envelope, so that I can get your that book on blackboards packed up for you. So we'll get that squared away. I found some things in going through all this small stuff. I found some things that were really surprising because I had no idea that they were really worth anything. And let's see. Now, I don't know how to get separate pictures up. But do I have a way to do it? No, I don't, because if I'm filming with my phone. So I found a 1970 vintage tarot deck. And the box is in scuffed condition. And I started it as an auction for $15, but they usually sell for anywhere from $25 to $35 for this particular one. It's made in Switzerland. It's a Swiss set, and everything's there, including the original little tiny fold out of instructions. And I was really surprised in researching it how some tarot decks can get really high dollar amounts for reselling. I was really surprised at that because I didn't know about that one. I also had found this little tiny thing. I thought it was just a regular adapter. And when I was upstairs on the third floor, clearing up the hallway, which had become a catch-all, to get things into the third floor closet, try to clear the walkway or the hallway out a little bit, there was a box that had completely fallen apart that was these really old Christmas tree lights. Now, these are probably from the 1920s, maybe the 30s at the latest. And I realized that I'm looking at the end and it has an adapter on the end of a plug. And I thought that looks like Bakelite. So I tested it and it says it's a winker. Now, and it has this little face of this, it almost looks like the GE logo. But it has his little face on it and he's winking. And it's 120 watts or 120. Now it says 123 volts on it. So that was kind of odd because usually things are 125, but it says 123. So when I researched this little thing, and I'm figuring I'll just sell it as for $5 as a thing that's Bakelite. No, this winker, it's a winker blinker. It automatically makes your lights blink. It's a 3-second delay somehow, and it will make the Christmas lights blink, which is really cool. And we're talking the old Christmas lights, not the little tiny, little teeny things. We're talking the ones with the bulbs are like that big and maybe like that big around. So we're talking about like the big 1-inch, 1.25-inch long glass bulbs that you would screw in. Not like the little twinkly lights that we're all so used to. Hello, Lisa. And so that's another thing is it runs between $20 and $30 for this little thing called a winker. It's a blinking adapter for vintage Christmas lights. So I've got that up. I quick put both of those up on eBay so that I could get those listed in my store. But I did something different is I put them up as, instead of as a buy it now, I decided to try to create some interest, and I started them a little lower and have them up there as auctions right now. But there's already been 17 people that have looked at the tarot deck. Nobody's looked at the Winker Blinker yet, but it's just a silly little thing. But there's hope. After all, it's only had a day. How much longer does it have? Oh, this doesn't show me, does it? Oh, stop. This laptop's getting iffy. It still has they still have 5 days, 15 hours, and so many minutes. So they'll get there. There we go. So that was good. But one thing I found, another thing, it really surprised me, and I used it for the thumbnail, is, and my phone at a different place because I have a shorter cord now, is this little Pokemon game. This is for Game Boy. This is for Game Boy. Not Game Boy Advance. This is for Game Boy. This sucker, if I can find it here, let me find it again. This is the, I don't think this is Sapphire. Sapphire, I think, is one of the little games. This is blue. Now, if you were to find this in its original box, there are people who are getting over $7,000 for a new old stock, brand new, not never opened, sealed box that they've gotten certified and graded. So they've gotten over, even if they didn't get it graded, they're getting over $7,000 for that. That's just mind-boggling. That for a sealed copy, if you get it graded, you can get over 7,000. If you have, where's an open one that's not, where's a box one not graded? Now, one not graded, it's worth it to get, sometimes, to get things properly graded and certified, because the ones, there's ones in here now that are not graded, but they are still sealed, but they're still getting, there's two that sold for $1,200, and it just says one bid. So these things, you do reselling, these early Game Boy games, especially Pokemon, because Pokemon's just still so big. I'm trying to find an open one on its own. I'm finding a bunch of sales for $600, but it's like 6 different games. All the early ones. I want this by itself to see. But not only did I find this one, about 30 minutes ago, I found this, which has got all kinds of little games in it. Alice in Wonderland, Kirby, it's got the books. It's missing a lot of games. This should be full. So I know as I have found games, I have dropped some of them into a drawer upstairs. And I don't know if the book would be in here for the, whoa! I just dropped it on the floor. Let's not step on that. Where are you? Let's see if the book is in here, because that'll make a difference too. Come on, I keep finding ones with the box. I don't have the box. If I had the box, I could have $300. That would solve a lot of issues. Let's see. Power Rangers Ninja Storm, Gauntlet, Star Wars Jedi. Wait, the camera's on this side. Jackie Chan Adventures. I never played that one. I don't remember playing Dragon Warrior either. And I certainly wouldn't have played this one. Power Rangers. Matter of fact, no, I don't think I played any of these. I know the Alice in Wonderland one was mine. All the ones in here, except for the Harry Potter one, are the old kind. Now, this is for Game Boy Advance. The Game Boy Advance, the cartridges got smaller. So that's what they are. And if you ever see Pokemon ones, even of those, boy, some of them, they're easily $100 items, just about every one of them. Most of them are more. I'm trying to find one without the box. Do the research while we're talking. But I was just so surprised that these things, I had no idea that these had gotten to be this much. Now there is Pokemon Yellow for 200. Now I'm looking at sold comps. Oh no, that's Yellow and Red, so that's for 2 games. No, I just went one without the box. Okay. Pokemon Blue Nintendo Game Boy, $131, but that says ships from Australia. I need a US priced one because that just would make more sense. So it's the little stuff though. It's always surprises me that sometimes it's the little stuff that really can make a lot of money. When I Oh, you sneaky. Somebody has one that's sold for $151, but it's funny that he got $151 when it has all 151 complete Pokédex, which means the game that's loaded on there, the guy actually got all of the Pokemon. So it comes with a game, because it is a used game, but it comes with one that's got all the Pokemon you can capture in that game. Here's the Fire Red, which is a Game Boy Advance. That's 150. Why can I not find a blue by itself? Everything has got this. Mine, I have no idea how many Pokemon are caught on this thing. Now, we do still have Mike's Game Boy, but don't have the, I can't find the power cord. So we haven't been able to charge it up. But every one of them I'm looking at now that's a single game is over $120, which is great. So I will definitely be finding the others because I know some of the others are in there. I hate giving them up because I had so much fun playing them. I really like them. There we go. There's one. $109 for a buy it now. So that's really good. I better move you over a little further so I don't accidentally step on you. There we go. But that's really cool. And I know I have found small things. The funniest one, 2 of them that I sold in the past, I had swept up off the floor. One was a little tiny pin about an inch tall, and it had a picture inside on celluloid. And you could just see the letter on this baseball, early baseball. It was the Philadelphia A's. Now, this is before they became the Philadelphia Phillies. And it was actually was able to identify it as a pitcher. Don't remember his name. And because it was such a rare thing, even though it had a scratch on it, it actually still sold for that actually still sold for $400, which for something that I swept up off the floor, it's an inch big. There was also this tiny little token coin that was the size of a dime, and it was for Henry Clay while he was running for, I think, running for president. And they used to give out these little token coins, but they're often very tiny. Nowadays, you get buttons, you get lawn signs, you get flyers, you can get all kinds of stuff. But back in the 1800s, you didn't do that so much. And even in the late 1700s, it was tiny little things that you gave out, if at all. But by the 1800s, they were giving out these little tokens, to people, I guess, to people who would donate to their campaign. And that went to the Henry Clay Frick Museum, or Henry Frick Clay. I forget which way it went. But it went to the museum. I was so happy who finally won the bidding on that. But that little tiny dime size thing was another thing it was over $200. This little tiny thing. And it was worth doing the research. So the plan is you're going to see, because of having to clean out so much back there. Sadly, I had to throw out a stack of books that was about a foot high. And one of them is actually one of my books that I used to research stuff. It was on Royal Dalton animals. And so I'm going to have to, I found it on eBay, and got an offer. I favorited it, and I got an offer for $6 from the buyer. They sent me an offer I don't want to refuse, but right now the coffers are bare, so I'm not going to get it yet. But we'll see what happens. Maybe I can get over the weekend and get things together. I am supposed to go away on Monday to go stay with friends that are like over an hour's drive from here. And she's picking me up. And then we're going to go to this RV and camper show out around Hershey, Pennsylvania on Tuesday. And then she'll bring me back Wednesday morning because I have scouts that night. And one of the things we're going to do on Monday is we're supposed to go stop at a Goodwill. Not sure that's going to happen. Just because money timing, but we'll see. I got a lot of work to do yet tomorrow. Oh. Tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. I plan to have a lot of work done. And we'll see what happens. Let's see. Nope, wrong thing. Oh, duh. Take out the word blue. What are you doing, me? No, no, and no. There it is. One of the other things I found that's in this book here, and I was wondering, was the Shrek game, but I'm not seeing the original one. I'm just seeing the advanced one. What is this called? These things are really cool if you can find them, these Game Boy ones, because every one of these little pockets is a Ziploc. So I'm not really, I mean, the Velcro came apart on the latch for it. Like, this doesn't stick anymore, but I'm going to glue a new piece on there. But I'm going to hang on to this because it's going to come in handy for little tiny things that I can Ziploc in there. Fairy Tale Freak Down. All right, let's add the word fairy to this. One thing when you go to research your own stuff, huh, that one's not a lot. That one's just $10. Still, $10. $10 is $10. That's fine. But when you go to research your own stuff to find out what things are worth, the best thing you can do is to not have, like, I could put the whole title in there, but sometimes it's easier to just put keywords in. I mean, for something like this, it's different because, you've got titles of different things. But if it's something that doesn't have a title, it's a lot easier to just go ahead and just put certain keywords, like, vase, blue, urn shape. So that's not bad. Now, I also know tonight while we're talking, I had a sale because I put my Etsy store and my eBay store, I put things on sale until tomorrow. Log me into Etsy. This laptop is just so slow now. All right. I have to find it. Which one do I? In progress. I need to find a counted cross stitch kit. They're in a bag down there. Oh dear. Well, dear, oh dear. Well, I guess you're missing some of your little thingies. Isn't that cute? It looks like such an old print, but the frame is plastic. So I'm gonna try to find it while we're talking. I see Bonnie's here now. I hope everybody's doing well. And I'm just so happy to see so many people. We've got quite a few tonight. 13. Well, welcome all 13 of you. And I know there's still a lot of sales tonight because Steph sells stuff by the seashore. She started her sale. And Becky's Vintage and More is having a sale. And Lori Ann had hers earlier. Thursdays have gotten a little busier. When I started, there wasn't anyone on a Thursday. So, that made it a lot easier. I didn't have any competition. Now I have competition. There's what we have. 1,223 is the amount of subscribers I've picked up. And let's see, who do I need to say hello to? Let me in. Now, I won't know all the subscribers' names because a lot of times you don't see that. You only see it if they're people that have it settings so that you do know. So I know just in August, the two I do know is Vintage Halloween Design by Clint and Rami's Retro. Now, they both have channels as well. And why are you jumping around here? Give me date. Here we go. We have Lot 33326, Diane H. Hello. Vintage Halloween Designs by Clint, Adelia Watson, Teresa Scott, Lisa Olson, Rami's Retro, Prepper 1024, Lonnie Lou's World, and Katie Fadri. Welcome, all of you. You are all the ones that I can see came in on August. And CJ, the prepping prepper. You guys are all new for August. Hello and welcome. And then for my members, for the memberships I have, I'd like to thank you. I have Nora, I have Marilyn, and I have Nanny. So thank you all for being subscribers and becoming members of the channel as well. Thank you. Nanny, that name always makes me smile because Nanny was my mom's mother. We always called her Nanny. And she was just so sweet. I liked her so much. I miss her. But I don't miss hearing the organ playing. They had a tiny little twin in Glen Olden, and she loved to play the organ. But boy, as she got older and her hearing the volume got louder. So if you were sitting in the front room, in the living room, while she was playing, your ears were hurting by the time she was done. So that was a challenge. But I do want to thank all of you so much for watching my videos and coming to the lives. I hit a new all-time high, and bless your hearts for this. Because in August, according to the analytics, from you all watching all the advertisements, it says I made $46.54 in revenue in August. That took me, that normally would take me 3 months, sometimes 4, to get that much. And bless you, because that means I might actually see a payout by Christmas, which would come in handy for Christmas. You don't get, when you have a YouTube channel that's monetized, the minimum you can set it for a payout is $100. It will only pay out when it hits that. And that includes all super chats, super thanks. The membership fees go into that. And then the ad revenue for watching the ads. And I'm just truly blessed at the sudden growth of the channel. So obviously everybody wants to see Goodwill shopping and Goodwill hauls because they've done real well. But if you're new to my channel, as 60 of you are, you'll find that there will be hauls from stuff that's here, that's already in the house. Because there will be boxes that I will open up because I don't have a clue what's in them anymore. You know, I mean, it's been a long while, and there have been routine health problems and things like that. So at this point, there's boxes that I've completely forgotten what was in them. And there are some boxes from the one estate that had the book collection I inherited, where they were just shoving stuff into boxes and stuffing it in my car. I didn't pack them. There have been times I've found things in with books that it was a miracle they weren't broken. I do remember finding a beautiful cup and saucer at one point in the middle of a box of books. And it's a miracle that that handle on that cup didn't get broken. So it's a treasure hunt here. And you will start seeing more of that. I did not have a chance to film anything this week, but there will be. I want to get, I want to do a haul video of all these Avon bottles, and then I should probably do a haul video of all the patterns I found. I found a bag. I found a bag of patterns that are all costume patterns. Now, some of them are duplicates because it's the same pattern, but it's in every size they made. A lot of Renaissance Fair patterns. And I need to get them. I need to check every single one because I don't know which ones were used and which ones weren't. There are some things. There was one that had my name on it. Beautiful looking gown. And I looked at this picture and went, I never had a dress like that. And I couldn't figure out why my name was on it. And then I opened it up. Well, my mother had only cut out the part that made the sweetheart neckline with the little V and then the curve and then up. Okay, now I know. She used that for a green velvet dress that I still have. It's in the closet. She, She used only that part of that pattern for that dress. I'm going to find lots of patterns like that because she had the ability and the knowledge of how to adapt, taking parts from one pattern and adding it with another and ending up with a complete item. But there's, I think I found a couple of Vogue patterns and Jessica Howard patterns, who's a designer for, I think, Simplicity. And at least 35 to 40 costume patterns. And I just haven't had the time to get through all of them and see. And they're all going to go up in my Etsy store as soon as I can, because now's the time of year for that. Get those suckers up there. And it'll be good. It'll be so good to have them go, because this is the time of year. And being that they're all Renaissance patterns too, that's always a good thing. So, hello, Sherry. How are you? I haven't forgotten you, but the cats went and took your package that way. That's also where my light box is, which is another problem for getting things listed. My little bitty light box, because Elron kept trying to sleep in it. And apparently one night he moved and it slid and it went over the back. So that's a challenge too. There's so many challenges here. But, we're going to work on all of them. Okay? Yarn. But why is the yarn here and then the string is in a box? Baby alpaca and silk? Oh, this would make awesome socks, but I don't know how to knit socks. Look at that. Where's the rest of them? I have the Goodwill bag. Where's the... I'll bet the rest of them are in that. Okay, we're going to keep it in the bag because it's yarn. I have cats. I don't trust them. I have to get this out of the way. This is the giant... How thick this is. This is the giant roll of saran wrap type stuff that doesn't cling so much to itself anymore like it should, but does enough that you sometimes find some of your things wrapped in. Yet it's turned kind of yellow because this thing is probably almost as old as I am. This came from where my father used to work when I was a kid. They used to wrap the big pallets of boxes in that. Now, let's see here. Oh, green pen. More postcards. Easter postcards. And some of this. Some of this sold. And I need to get it packed. I don't remember if that did or not. Isn't that cute? That's a big one. Look at the size. Look at the size of that. That is a big cracked egg. Beautifully painted, though. 1959, because it's signed and has a date on the bottom. She did a nice job. They used to sell kits where you could paint porcelain, and then you'd mail it back in, and they would fire it and glaze it. I know because my great aunts used to do it. But I don't know. They don't still do it. Why are you not cooperating? Oh, because this is in there. A heavy bookend. To get you packed. Oh, looky. One of my number cards. I am finding them all over the place. Oh my goodness. It was tucked in this guy. Put this back in here and we will fit this box on top of this box. Oh, 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 oh. My son's birthday present finally arrived from Temu. I got him stuff for his cats because this way they can all stop fighting on windowsills. I got one of those beds that suction cups to the window, which I don't know that Gimli's too heavy. I don't know that Gimli and Aragorn will be able to lay in it because they're kind of heavy. But Arwen was the first one to find it, and boy, did she take the longest, most deepest nap this afternoon. She just was out cold for hours. And she found it and loved it. And then I also got in the backpack that you can carry a kitty cat in. Now, I was disappointed a little bit about that backpack because it smelled so much like chemicals. So I took it out of its plastic, and when I smelled all that, I just stuck it out on the roof. Out on the roof where I used to let the cats out. The earth is our home. There it is. This is the one that sold from my Etsy store. And they are on sale right now. My, because usually, did it end already? Oh, wait, I can't see my own store that way. No, I need to see. No. Show me my own store. So instead of being $20, the cross stitch kits are $15 in my Etsy store right now. And that ends tomorrow night. But ooh. So let me, oh no, I did the wrong thing. Give me my shop dashboard back. There we go. No, not listings. Open orders. There we go. I'm so happy to have something sell out of there. I haven't done anything with Etsy in ages other than to get those up at the beginning of the summer. And you're paying, you're paying for your listings to every time they renew, and so it's good to have stuff going though. It's very good. Now what I don't have is a good place to put these. Now because you are my viewers though, if any of you want to have one of these, you let me know. Because for you guys, they would be 15. You would keep getting the sale price, but tomorrow they'll go back to being 20. I love this one. He's beautiful. It's done on a black canvas, and they've actually got the lines to help you follow on that one. Got him. I only have one of him. I have one of the angel. I have two of these that say welcome, friends, and family. And you can look at them in the Etsy store. There should be links in the description. Well, I haven't put the description on this one. There's only one of the cat one. Cats, more cats. And then there's this really cute baby hugs from Sunset. Cleaning and scrubbing can wait till tomorrow. For babies grow up, we've learned to our sorrow. So quiet down cobwebs, dust go to sleep. I'm rocking my baby, and babies don't keep. That's adorable. But they're all counted cross stitch. And I've had them tucked over here because I don't really have a spot on the shelf over there for you. But I need to find one and make one. Huh, what did I find? It's a cat fur. That's what I just found. Where is it? Oh, foo. Knocking more stuff over. So, I'm gonna have to stand up and get a hold of this. Oh, ha. Pinch nerves suck. I just got a cramp in my leg. Okay, there we go. I tried to grab the trash bag and I accidentally turned it upside down. Pick that up off the floor. And I emptied it all over the floor. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Go away. No, I don't want a vest. No, you're not going to restart my computer. Go away. Oh my goodness. So, well, this is from the house clean out. Just all kinds of random stickers. There was so much stuff. And I use stickers all the time on things. Make sure envelopes are sealed. But there was just so much in that house clean out. Oh, okay. I was wondering where this file went. Ha! That needs to go into a file cabinet upstairs. It's medical paperwork that I've been looking for. I never know where I'm going to find anything because I'm an idiot. I'm just brain dead sometimes. Oh, this is one. I'm going to have to try to find a new one. It got wet, and you can see where there's mold. I sprayed it with a mold killer, but I'm not going to keep that because it's in on the pages. But this is over here so I can look it up. But that's the kind of thing that happened when that leak hit, because it just from it's from the pipe that is the cold water line we knew had an issue, but now the line from the tub, the drain line from the tub is dripping. So it's just been a bit frustrating. But we will get there. We will get there. And it'll be fine. And hopefully we can get it fixed over the winter, because we put all the money into fixing the roof. And that's not 100% yet, but we're going to get that taken care of too. Everything's not roses, but it ain't fertilizer either. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to get there. I have confidence in that. Collector's Guide to Art Deco. And you are... No, let's not do best match. Let's do price and shipping lowest. I think I found it. I did find it. Updated version too. Okay. I'm going to add that to my watch list so that for $4.39 How can you possibly do free shipping on something that's only $4.39? You have got to be losing money. But that's what I've been doing with the books that I really, really, was upset about that I was trying to find. I did what I could, and for anything that I really wanted to get again, I either took photo of it, like I did the Dark Shadows books, or this one wasn't too bad, so I just brought it in here so that I can, so I could get them, and I'll just put them on my watch list, and then get them as I can, um, through eBay or through ABE books. But there were only two. I lost only two reference books that were out there. This Collector's Guide to Art Deco and the Royal Dalton Animals book. And those were the only two that just couldn't, that they had to go. They were the only two that were out there. Everything else has been safely on shelves over here. But I had been using those two. So I will get them back again. Because I do come across Art Deco stuff, and I know there's a little bit of Art Deco stuff here. I come across the animal stuff more often because I actually look for that kind of stuff. But it doesn't hurt to teach yourself more about things. And one of the reasons I have this book, I actually have a spot marked. I don't know, where was the glass I just saw that went by? But I have this page marked because at one point, a long time ago, this little green one I had found. And it's made to hold, like, it's a little centerpiece thing, but it's not marked. And this was the only book I found it in. But I knew I had seen it somewhere, and I couldn't remember where. So I had to go through a couple of books. But it does help, because especially with sometimes with glass stuff, vases, I usually do find vases sometimes. And once in a blue moon, a floral frog. But now, I mean, I don't have any more of that stuff that I inherited, but I do keep an eye out for it. I know I tend to watch Briggs Auction, which is a local auction house near me, and I keep watching their stuff to see what sells well for them so that I can get more discovery lots together. We're getting there. I've got a trunk now, a wooden trunk. I have the Disney toy box. Have a box that has parts, two sets in condition that are erector sets, another box with odd bits and motors for erector sets, and another toy that was an erector set type of thing, but it wasn't erector set. That was something of Michael's that he never ever actually played with. So that's going to be one box lot. I've started a box lot of glass jars. I can't find, and I knew we had them in the basement, but they've vanished. We used to have a couple of blue ball glass jars. But I've started that for a couple of things that are glass that it's just like, I don't want to ship that. So I started that one. I have a box of books that are pre-1900 and a box of books that are started that are post-1900, that are basically going to be anything from 1900 to, say, 1960. So let's see, that's 1, 2, 3. Wait, what? Brain dead. Trunk? You can tell I'm really tired tonight because my brain isn't. Oh, it wasn't my birthday. It was Michael's. It was my son's. It was Michael's birthday. Roy and Joanne's son, but he was the kid for all of us. He had three parents. And but yeah, we did go out to eat, and he got to go out to eat with his dad too. So that was he got to have he I think he went to a movie too with his dad. And then at Scouts, they surprised him. So he's had a good birthday, I think. But he hearing him talk though has been really kind of funny because he's hit 30. Okay. Now I remember when I hit 30, um, you know, I was too busy to think too much about it. I was putting myself through trying to finish up college, and finally was getting to where I could see the end of the tunnel in that. I was working full time, trying to fit college in full time, and then in that October I had turned 30. That June, my following June, my father died suddenly. And then all hell broke loose because we had 11 funerals in 6 months. Dad was 68, 67, sorry, 67. And his death was the first. It just kept going until Christmas, till the end of till the end of the year. It got to where, we didn't want to hear the phone ring. You were afraid to pick it up. Uh, and also, that December, by the time I was 31, in October, and then that December, um, there were complications for one brother and his wife, and so their little 2-year-old needed a safe place to land, and so I caught him. You know, no kid in my family's gonna end up in foster care. No way. So I became instant parent to a 2-year-old and had to give up school. But I don't regret that. I really don't. Seeing how well he's turned out, knowing that he had three parents that absolutely adored him and loved him very much, has made him always feel wanted, and that he had a very solid footing in knowing that he had people that really loved him. And even if he couldn't live with his parents, he knew they loved him, and he knew I loved him. And so I think that helped. So yeah, I mean, he had a great birthday, but I don't remember being so funny about turning 30. He's really wait till he hits 40. I've got 2 more years though. I've got 2 more to go before I hit 60. So, oh, other Nancy. Well, hello and happy birthday. So it was your birthday yesterday. Oh, that's awesome. A September baby. Well, happy birthday, dear, to the other Nancy. So, pillows are moving. I'm sliding off my chair. So yeah, mine. I was holding out to be a Halloween baby because all of us are born on or within a day of a holiday. I think I was holding out for mischief night. But the doctor that my mom had wanted to go on vacation and basically told her that if she didn't allow him to induce labor, and this tells you how little say women had in 1965 over their own health care. When a woman has child number 6 ready to come and she keeps telling you you're wrong about the due date. I know when I got pregnant, and I'm telling you, you're wrong about the due date. You should shut up and listen to her. Oh, Nancy, you're young enough to be a sibling. 58 to 53, that's only a couple of years. Age spread in my family was 16 years between Steve and I, with all these other kids in between. But he wanted to go on vacation and told her if she didn't let him induce her, that then he would tell the insurance company that she refused treatment, and then the insurance company would then not cover the birth when it happened. What a rotten thing to do to a woman. So they gave her the shots to try to induce me, and she I gave that poor woman such a hard time because apparently she was in labor for a lot of hours, longer than anybody else, because I didn't want to show up. And she swears I was holding out for mischief night or Halloween. I love Halloween, so I figure I was holding out for mischief night because that would fit the personality. But I'm the only one because of that now. I'm the only one of the six of us that's not actually on or within a day of a holiday. And I say within a day, but Phyllis, technically, it is a holiday. It's just not an American holiday. She wasn't born on Christmas Day. She was born the day after Christmas. But that's Boxing Day, which isn't so much celebrated here in the US, but that's still a holiday in some places. So we could start the Sisterhood of the Nancys. There you go, Nance. We'll start a Sisterhood of the Nancys. That would be cool. I'd love to have an adopted sister. I'd love to have a sister closer to my own age. I do love my sister, but my sister is 14 years older than I am. Born in the very, very early 1950s. She is very much a 1950s poodle skirt kind of girl. And I am so not. And your parents are very different from what they are with child number 1 and 2 in 1951, I think, 50 or 51, to what the child is in 1965. You really do have a very different set of parents by then, especially considering that there's 3 brothers between her and I and 1 brother above her. So, it took a lot of, it caused a lot of misunderstandings between us growing up, because it really took her daughter finally getting it through to her at one point when her daughter was in her early 20s that, you know, you two weren't raised alike. You should stop expecting her to be like, you know, a certain way, because she's never going to be. I'm first year Gen X. Grew up with 4 brothers and a Boy Scout troop. Always hung out with the boys. There was only 1 girl in the neighborhood near my age. She's a year younger than I am. And all my friends were boys. I'm just, you know, I'm more comfortable with boys. I am not comfortable necessarily, was not comfortable in a room full of girls, because all they wanted to do was talk about the boyfriends or who was dating this one or who liked that one. And that wasn't, you know, that just wasn't my thing. And then because everybody was so much older when I was growing up, we'd have Christmases here and Thanksgiving here, and all the women who were married and the daughters-in-law would all be about the husbands and their kids in the kitchen, and they'd kick me out of the kitchen. So where am I supposed to go? I'd come into the living room and sit and watch football with the guys, with all the men. Or we'd play poker. That was a tradition for a long time. After Thanksgiving dinner, we'd all play either Rummy 500 or penny poker after dinner. A lot of times it was Rummy. I know at one point we had to do Rummy 500 with 2 decks, because we had me, Gary, Roy, my brother-in-law Bob, and my dad. And I think that was a year that Dennis was here and stopped in for dinner. And so we had Dennis with us as well, and David. So we had 7 people trying to play Rummy 500. So we ended up having to use 2 decks. That was the most bizarre game of that I ever played. So it's I miss those, and Mike's never had those because he's like in between generations. So he doesn't really remember having too many things where you might have had, you know, 22 people at dinner. on holiday where the kids had to eat in the kitchen because there was no room at the big table. You know, you didn't eat at the big dining room table until you were 10 because there was no room. And he didn't get to have all that. And the sad part is too, is at least I had Daria and Michael growing up. When he grew up here, there were no kids his own age in the neighborhood. There wasn't anybody around. So that was a bit rough for him. Kind of had, that's why I learned how to play the video games, and we'd play board games, and because I know what it was like to be the kid that there wasn't always somebody around. So you've got to go that extra step and make sure you're there, and then you play, have time with them, play with them, let them trounce you on video games because you don't necessarily know what you're doing. So my throat's starting to go. Kitty? I don't know what I heard. I think the basement door is open, so I think somebody just went down there. We've been leaving it open now because it's one night it got down to 57 degrees, and the basement window on that side has finally dry rotted apart. And last year we put a couple of boards over it, but we didn't have the right size boards. So they're like cedar, and they're like an inch and a half, maybe, yeah, an inch and a half thick. And so they're just kind of banged into the frame. But there's all these gaps. There's some big gaps too. So if any mice come in, they're going to come in right through there. Though I haven't, with all the cats around, with the 3 that keep showing up to be fed out back, I haven't seen a mouse anywhere. They haven't been in the house. I have occasionally found the remains of them in the yard. So I don't know that I'm going to see any mice this winter or have any problems with them, because I'm pretty sure the outdoor cats are taking care of any of them that they find. But I do want to that's a bad air gap for the winter. So I need to see what we can do to seal that up properly. Even if it's just spray foam. That's the headache of an old house. I love Dad, but Dad didn't like the house. So maintenance was not his highest priority for here. And then in the last years, especially since I hurt my back, I hadn't been able to do much of anything with it. You should see the backyard. It's a jungle. But I did have somebody come and dig out a bunch of ostrich ferns, and they helped while the gentleman was here to dig them out. He actually helped cut back some stuff I couldn't reach because I'm too short. So we freed up my we freed up my Queen Elizabeth Rose. Keep wanting to say princess. She's not a princess. So we got that freed up because a tree had landed on it. So, I don't quite know what else to talk about tonight, because I'm just, I think some of these are on I think that is on my packing list. I'll have to check that. But, but I do know I need to keep tonight kind of short because I have to get up early tomorrow and start making some calls, because the hernia doctor I was supposed to see has been in a car accident. So now I have to start from square one all over again. Find a new hernia doctor, because this one's not going to be around for a while, since he hurt himself. I shouldn't say it because he hurt himself, because I don't know what actually happened, but I just know that I now have to start finding a new hernia doctor. Any colored pencils or art supplies? I use my colored pencils. And I don't know that I really do have art supplies. You know, I do still have those tubes of fabric paint um, that you were going to take at one point. Let me know if you still want those. I am going to take my TARDIS bag. The part that's the words on the top of the TARDIS, say police box, is completely flaking off. So I was thinking of taking some of those fabric paint tubes, the black and the white, and seeing if I could just paint it on. But I'll keep an eye out for art supplies for you, Nancy. I know one of the things I have to do tomorrow, there is another box that has squished. Okay, because then I can use them. I'll use them on stuff eventually, but the first thing will be the TARDIS bag. But I know there's another box out there that is squashed, that didn't get wet. It's just squashed, and it's all craft or fabric or mix of both that I have to get through and repack and get to the third floor. So I'll keep an eye out and if I come across any art supplies. I'm not much of an artist per se, not for small stuff. I can paint backdrops. I can do really good looking stone walls and brick walls for theater when the audience is 30 feet away. Not so much for, really nice painting up close. It's not a talent I had acquired because I don't know how to do depth perception real well. So, but I will keep an eye out for you. I will actually, wait a minute. I'll make a note. I can't wait to get this side over here tidied up because I need to blow my nose. I've realized now what I forgot is I never did take my allergy medicine today. I'm used to doodle, but when I doodled, it was like micro art. I would make like little tiny, like 1-inch pictures of stuff. That because you don't have to be as you're detailed, but not fine tuned. And so you get across the image you want, but I was always doing little tiny things. So, all right, so I have it written down for art supplies, but when I get this side done, I have an old Rolodex. And I want to get everybody's address and contact information on that because then I can have little cards that tell me what you're looking for. But it's buried on the card table that's over here. So that's the next thing. But as I get the stuff packed up that I owe all of you guys, that pile will go down. This box will be gone. This box will be gone. These 2 boxes will be gone. That box will be gone. So the only thing I'm having trouble is finding, it came with some cards, some of the blank cards, but it didn't come with many. And so I need to find a place to buy more of those because I'm sure I'm going to need more than I actually have. But that's going to be another day because I also need to find what are you doing here? You shouldn't be here. These belong to 2 of my scouts. How did I end up with these? I wasn't on that trip. Whitewater rafting challenges. Even has a patch with them. I'd take this up, give this to Michael. Oh, these are not. They shouldn't be down here. I shouldn't even have those. Um, but I want to get all that out of here. Packed up, gone, history, out the door. Besides, if I do that for and get stuff out of here, there's more room for sales. So, but I've been on for almost an hour and a half. I do have to get up early tomorrow, so I'm gonna I'm gonna leave now. Yeah, it was kind of a ramble. The chats, that's sometimes what they are. It depends. Like, we have 15 watching right now. Thank you all. Thank you all for the thumbs up. Thank you for all those who commented in the chat, because the amount of comments you get in the chat and the amount of like these little interactions of little hearts and little things, all that counts for activity within the live. So that counts towards them promoting the lives when they happen. And the more comments are left on any video or any live after it's over, that also improves the algorithm for them to share it more, which I found out that's one of the big things to helping make a channel grow. So thank you all very much. I see I'm getting a bunch of hearts from somebody. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It definitely does help. I'm just so thrilled that the channel just suddenly had that burst of a growth, and I'm hoping you all like the journey. The journey, if you look through the past, you'll see some rocky spots. You'll see some where, even though I was flat on my back, there's two where I show off some really cool vintage jewelry. Because in one video, I'm laying flat on my back, because I had hurt my spine, and I'm holding up this way, and the camera's like on my shoulder, and I'm holding up these gorgeous rhinestone pieces that I have. And then there's another one that is all of the good jewelry, the sterling silver stuff, some of the stuff that I inherited. Thank you, Nancy. Thank you very much. So there's a lot of fun stuff to see. And now I was going to ask you guys something. I knew I should have written it down, because now I don't remember. Darn it. I know I got a message from one person asking me if there was going to be a Halloween sale. No, there's not. I love Halloween too much. It's very rare that I have anything Halloween that I'm willing to give up. So there's not going to be a Halloween sale, and there probably will be a Christmas sale, but not until maybe the end of October. So that's on the plan. I have to see what date I can fit all this in. There are some trips in October that I have to be on. So I don't want to do a sale as big as the Christmas sale on a time when I'm not gonna be here that weekend. I really want to get to where have the sale Thursday, start packing Friday and on Saturdays, and get stuff out to you guys. So I really am trying to get into that groove now that the packing room is fixed up a little more, and we've dealt with the chaos. All the wet stuff's gone from the plumbing leak. We have tarps up and stuff for a trash can for it to drain into for when we take showers. So we've got a fix. We've got not fixed, but a fix to make it workable until we can get that pipe replaced. And if we go up through the floor, we might be able to do it ourselves. Brain cramp. So anyway, you guys have a good weekend. I will be live next Thursday. I will double check what's written in my calendar. I really do think that it's supposed to be a chat that night because we weren't going to have it. I just was not ready to have a sale tonight. So a sale might be 2 weeks from now. But I want to get better at having thumbnails up for you guys ahead of time too. So I will, I need a nice generic thumbnail for my sales, like Steph from, Steph sells stuff at the seashore like she has, so that I can then just plug them all in on what night's supposed to be a sale and what night's supposed to be a chat. I really need to figure out how to do graphics to do that. And so that way we'll have it all preset, at least to the end of the year. So have a good night. Have a great week. And I hope to have something filmed for you to come out over the weekend. And I will see you all live again next Thursday night. And I will probably start doing the lives again at 10 o'clock at night, starting at 10, and get back to that. And I'm trying to figure out if there'd be another time, like on a weekend, that works for the majority of my viewers. So if you've made it this far to the end, put it in the comments of when you think would be a good time for me to have a live roughly during the day. Keep in mind it needs to be Eastern time because I'm on the East Coast, on say a Sunday, that might work for you. So let me know. And until then, I will see you live again next Thursday night. And I bid you all a good night and a thank you so much for watching my videos, for being here for the live, for subscribing, and for becoming members. You guys are all awesome. You keep me going more than you ever will realize. Goodbye.